Hello there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today I'll be giving a first-time reaction to a group called the Carpenters. And I bet the immediate thought in your mind is, Sohum, come on man, how have you not heard of the Carpenters before? And the truth is I actually have heard of the Carpenters before, I've just never actually listened to their music. So today I'm going to right that wrong finally by listening to 3 of their songs back to back to back, which should give us a good idea of what they're about, what they sound like, all that good stuff. So we're going to start with I Need to Be in Love, Rainy Days, and Mondays, and then lastly, this title's a bit of a doozy, Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft. I have no idea what's in store for us today, but I'm excited to find out nonetheless, because the entire point of my channel is to discover new music. So, like I said, I'm excited to jump into this, but before we do, let's please thank Heather the Fearless for making this donation request. As always, Heather, it is much appreciated. But now, let's jump in.
Thank you.
I Need to Be in Love. Being in love is pretty great. Would highly recommend. Okay, this feels like it's part of a movie.
The hardest thing I've ever done is keep believing there's someone in this crazy world for me.
Oh, what a melody choice.
The way that people come and go through temporary lies, my chance could come and I might never know. I used to say no promises, let's keep it simple, but freedom only helps you say goodbye.
It feels very theatrical, but I'm loving this vulnerable vocal performance. It's something very dreamy about it, right?
Only helps you say goodbye.
Goodbye.
It took a while for me to learn that nothing comes for free. The price I paid is high enough for me. I know I need to be in love.
Oh, it's so tender.
I know I've wasted too much time. I know I asked perfection of a quite imperfect world.
Oh, the strings, it's just...
And fool enough to think that's what I'll find.
I feel like I'm being enveloped right now. The beautiful strings, her voice, the bright keys.
So here I am with pockets full of good intentions, but none of them will comfort me tonight.
That is such an interesting
I'm
pitch, right?
wide awake at 4 a.m. without a sight. Hanging on a hoop, but I'm alright. I know I need to be in love. I know I've wasted too much time.
I don't know why when I listen to this, the phrase golden era pops into my brain. I believe that has something to do with music and or film. But like I said, this feels like a very theatrical performance, almost like it could be a part of a movie. But at the same time, it feels like a song that is just perfect for like isolation, like emotional introspection. It's like you understand this is what I need, but you're kind of suffering through the lack of love on your own. So it is that internal validation of I need this, but it's also seemingly she doesn't have it yet, and there's a bit of longing in her voice too. But again, the dreaminess part also plays a role. I don't know, there's so many simultaneous feelings I get from this one.
I know I've wasted too much time. I know I ask perfection of a quite imperfect world.
I love that. Quite an imperfect world.
And fool enough to think that's what I'll find.
Yeah.
I know I need to be in love. I know I've wasted too much time. I know I ask perfection of a quite imperfect world. And fool enough to think that's what I'll find.
Perfection in an imperfect world, and deluding yourself into believing it's possible to find perfection. What is her name? Carpenters singer. Karen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like that, because that's on our latest album.
So Karen Carpenter, just according to Google here. I love how dreamy this song is. It's very just pleasant to listen to. I almost thought it was going to go into like a sort of ominous direction, but it ended up staying above the board. Melodically, it was a little bit brighter, despite the potential underpinnings of the meaning of this track being a little bit darker, but it's not by much. That line, asking for perfection in a quite imperfect world, I love that line, because it's sort of, how can I put this? It's very self-aware, right? Because oftentimes we want more than the world is able to give us, because our expectations, one way or the other, are mismatched with what the world has to offer. Rather than ask for what we want from the world, we should ask for what we want from ourselves. And I think it always comes back to being able to love ourselves in order to be able to feel the love that's out there for others. So it's almost like I need to be in love isn't necessarily about reaching out into the world, though it can be. It's more about I need to be able to be in love with myself, to be comfortable, to be comfortable in the realization that things can be imperfect. This is at least one possible interpretation for me, but feel free to rip that apart in the comments below. But what definitely cannot be contested is that Karen has a beautiful voice. I like how it just gently floats above the clouds, and with those very bright keys, it literally feels like we're in a dream sequence. And there's that one note, da 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 da, whatever that pitch was. It was not what I was expecting at all, and it created this very ambiguous emotion in my mind, at least for a fleeting amount of time. And then we switched back again into that very bright, almost ballad-esque singing. So far so good. I don't know what I was expecting, but definitely pleasantly surprised, to be sure. Let's check out the second song here. This one is Rainy Days and Mondays, which I guess today happens to be Monday. All my days are jumbled up. And harmonica.
Talking to myself and feeling old. Sometimes I'd like to quit. Nothing ever seems to fit. Hanging around, nothing to do but frown. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
I like the quality of her voice. It feels therapeutic.
What I've got they used to call the blues.
Ooh.
Nothing is really wrong. Feeling like I don't belong. Walking around some kind of lonely cloud. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Funny, but it seems that I always wind up.
And she's drumming.
Nice to know somebody loves me.
At least very quietly she's drumming.
Funny, but it seems that it's the only thing to do.
Doesn't it feel like her voice is so polished? Funny, da 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 da. It's almost like there's no rough edges to her voice. This is the kind of voice that I aspire to have, because oftentimes I find myself, even in my own commentary, forget about like stuttering over myself, but just needing to roll out the voice cracks and feelings of quote unquote imperfection in my voice when it could have just been perfectly buttery smooth. Not to make this about myself, but in contrast, Karen's voice is velvety smooth.
Funny, but it seems that it's the only thing to do. Run and find the one who loves me.
Oh, okay.
What I feel is come and gone before. No need to talk it out. We know what it's all about. Hanging around.
The emotions are swelling, right? Oh, the harmony. Yes. Oh my god. I didn't know I needed this.
Funny, but it seems that it's the only thing to do. Run and find the one who loves me. What I feel is come and gone before. No need to talk it out. We know what it's all about. Hanging around, nothing to do but frown. Rainy days, Mondays always get me down.
God, this is so satisfying listening to this.
Hanging around, nothing to do but frown.
It's like bright but also melancholic.
Mondays always get me down.
And this harmonica. I really like songs like this because it kind of it's like this weird balance of something that feels almost overtly too negative and like down on itself, but instead of just being purely like sad, it's a bit of there's like a bit of brightness that is paired with this sadness, because it's more of, again, something like a very self-aware, how would I describe it? Like a self-aware soliloquy about sometimes, man, days just make me feel terrible. The day, whatever, my emotions, the week, the Monday, the rain, it is all weighing on me. And I just want to be able to share that very earnestly. So that's why I say it's very self-aware. It's an honest song, but it's also not, I would say, like downtrodden or just down on its luck for the sake of it and staying there perpetually. Because I think for me, I love a lot of sad music, but I've also had to come to like realize that I should not romanticize my own sadness or pain, right? And this is sometimes a weird sort of unintended consequence of listening to a lot of sad music is we keep ourselves sad because it can feel good. It can feel comforting, right? Misery loves company. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with sad songs too. I think we deserve to feel those emotions and let the music actually help us unlock those parts of ourselves. For me, for sure, sad music and just music in general has been extremely cathartic for me and therapeutic in the ways that help me unlock my own emotions. That said, understanding when you're using it more as a crutch or leaning into it to try to feel that same negative thing again versus trying to move past it is important. So that is a long ramble which kind of takes us slightly away from the track here, but what I'm intending to communicate is when you have these sad songs sung in a bright way, it almost feels like, hey, I'm aware that the romanticization of sadness is possible, and here I am still being honest about it, but it almost then feels like in the delivery that I won't let it be the thing that takes me out because I'm so forthright. And that allows for others to kind of step in and help out. That allows for your own, prefrontal cortex to help you unpack all that's what's going on. And then again, at the end of the day, you can still be sad, and that's perfectly okay. Yeah, maybe maybe I should just stop talking now and let the musicians do their thing. But I'm really liking what I'm hearing from the Carpenters so far. Karen has a very, very lovely voice, and these songs are rather quaint. They're relaxed. They just kind of keep us in that smooth, emotional space. I don't really have a better way to describe it right now. Let's keep it going with calling occupants of an interplanetary craft aliens, seemingly.
All Hit Radio. All right, you're listening to All Hit Radio, and it's 53 degrees at 13 minutes past the hour. And right now on our All Request line, I've got Mike Ledgerwood on the phone. Hey, babe, what would you like to hear? Hey, babe, I'm sorry, I can't hear you too well. You're going to have to speak a little closer into the phone. Okay, babe, what would you like to hear again?
We are observing your Earth.
Hey, Mike, I'm sorry, babe.
What is going on?
But that's not on our playlist. And by the way, you sound great over the phone. Anyway, if you give us your request, we'll be glad to play it for you, babe. So let's hear it.
So different.
We are observing your Earth.
Listen, Mike, I'm sorry, babe, but we can't...
And we'd like to make
I'm sorry, Mike, there's...
a contact with you.
Uh-oh.
Baby.
Put it in the comments. How many of you believe in aliens? I'm down there too, I believe.
In your mind you have capacities, you know, to telepath messages through the vast unknown. Please close your eyes and concentrate with every thought you think.
A small note, but her diction is like on point.
Upon the recitation we're about to sing, calling occupants of interplanetary craft, calling occupants of interplanetary most extraordinary craft.
I'm almost expecting Rush to join her.
Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft.
That's so funny.
Calling occupants of interplanetary most extraordinary craft. You've been observing our Earth, and we'd like to make a contact with you.
Okay.
We are your friends.
Oh, cool harmony. And what is that instrument?
Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary ultra emissaries.
there's that like very scratchy sound, almost like feedback in a radio in this mix. Definitely leans into the alien vibe of things. It's almost like an otherworldly kind of track. It's very grandiose somehow, but definitely reminds me of Rush, which is not a sentence I ever thought I would say after having heard the first song of this triple reaction today. That's funny.
We'll make a contact with you. We are your friends.
Is that flute?
Calling occupants of interplanetary, quite extraordinary craft.
Okay, we'll switch up. Now that I thought of Rush, I can't get it out of my mind.
And please, come in peace, we beseech you. Our Earth may never survive.
So do come, we beg you.
Please, interstellar policeman,
Oh, won't you give us a sign?
give us a sign
That we've reached you.
What? Dude, how did we get here? It's orchestral.
with your mind. You have ability to form and transmit thought energy far beyond the norm.
I'm so confused in a
You
good way.
close your eyes, you concentrate. Together, that's the way to send a message. We declare world contact day.
Oh my god.
Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary, most extraordinary craft. Calling occupants. Calling occupants. Calling occupants of interplanetary anti-adversary craft.
Just rolling up and up and up the hill.
We are your friends.
Thank you for these requests, Heather. Very interesting. Very interesting selections here. I know you wrote that the song was sort of trippy. And I sort of agree that it's a little bit trippy, but also part of me is like surprised at how unexpectedly majestic this whole song was. Da, 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 da. it almost kind of feels like someone is writing a love letter to outer space, is what it is. It's like the romanticization of the cosmos, of the world beyond our world. Or if you put it differently, it's like almost like an escape from our world as it is now. Because, many of us, we feel like, man, we are outsiders to this world, and it makes more sense for us to just be elsewhere, to find our escapes and be the cosmic dreamers of the world, the deep thinkers of the world, and reach out to something that is extraordinary, that is beyond our understanding currently, and be enamored by what makes the unknown infinitely magnetic. I wouldn't say the unknown is infinitely magnetic to the majority of people in the world. I would honestly say that a lot of people, they're curious, but they don't exercise their creativity in a very proactive way, which, that would apply to me as well. I try to be creative in all the ways that I can, and I still fall short. But it's always amazing to wonder and to think and to feel and figure out, what are all of these things that I don't know, and what would it be like on these other planets? And maybe an escape from this current moment is the best thing for me now. But it's also just amazing to have those dreams regardless, right? Why do we love to go to, well, I shouldn't say we, at least why do I, Sohum, love to go to sleep? It's because sometimes I get to dream. And, there was a time in my life where I very actively practiced lucid dreaming. That was some of the most fun you could have. I wasn't perfect at it. I wouldn't be able to replicate it every night, but for repeated stretches, I was able to. And you can kind of create your own dream world, almost like, what was her name? Ariadne in Inception, that movie. Anyways, that is a very interesting song for sure. Definitely deviates the most from the three that we heard today. I think the first two fit more in line with more of like melancholic ballads. And then this last song here felt like literally space exploration, or at least the strong voicing of wanting to explore space and what's beyond. So really interesting first look at the Carpenters today. I would definitely be curious to hear more. I super like Karen's voice, and I'm curious to hear your perspectives about the Carpenters in the comments below. So if you enjoyed the reaction, please leave a like. If you'd like to request a reaction yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link in the description box below. Whether it's Carpenters or any other group for that matter, I'm totally game. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.